regression that took place in 2018, and it was focused around his experience with the lady, which was this entity that appeared in our backyard Easter of 2012. It was a very profound experience. It means a lot to our family, and what I'm about to read means a lot to me. If you have any questions about my dad's experiences with the lady or want to know where to find information about that, this is going to be your comprehensive guide for the experience with the lady. So I'm just going to jump right into the transcript. This is the Chris Bledsoe regression with Barbara Lamb on June 5th, 2018. Barbara. Now you're getting ready to experience the whole of the experience when the lady came in 2012. What is it you're aware of? And Chris, as you're sleeping there, is your wife sleeping in the bed there with you? Chris, no, I'm alone. Barbara, do you sense yourself being in bed alone? Chris, yes, I see a door. Crying, oh Lord, I see a door. It's light and opening. It's in the ceiling. There's a hole, an opening, and I'm being drawn up. Barbara, they are drawing you up out of the bed? Chris, yes. Barbara, in what position do you think you are if you're being drawn up? Chris, I'm being pulled up. Barbara, are you vertical or are you horizontal? Chris, I'm flat. I'm beginning to go from flat to vertical and I see the attic in my house. Barbara, and do you stay there? Chris, no, I'm being pulled higher and higher to the light. Barbara, are you being pulled up, right up to the ceiling? Chris, towards the ceiling, I can see the rafters in the attic. I can see the attic. I can see all this stuff. Barbara, is there any light in there? Chris, just the light that's pulling me. Barbara, and is it continuing to pull you? Chris, it pulls me higher and higher and higher and higher. I see the trees. Barbara, oh, you're outside now. Chris, yes, I see the trees and being drawn up higher into this beautiful light. Barbara, is that beautiful light above you? Chris, yes, I'm being carried away. I'm being carried away. Barbara, are you being carried toward the light or in another direction? Chris, to the light, and I feel the light. I feel it. It's warm and it's loving. Crying here. Barbara, it really moves you, doesn't it? Chris, yes, the energy. It's a wonderful feeling. I can feel this beautiful presence, this wonderful presence of love. Barbara, and is it very large? Chris, it's pretty large. A door. The light is like the size of a door. That's what it looks like. A doorway. And I feel it. I feel it's a wonderful, loving feeling. And I hear these voices telling me I'll be fine. They're telling me not to be afraid, that they're here to guide me, to help me. Barbara, and as this is happening, can you see who is telling you this? Chris, I see these three figures. They're beautiful and they're glowing and they're standing in the light, crying. They're welcoming me to the light, crying. Barbara, so does it feel like you're actually going into the light? Chris, yes, I'm being pulled into the light. They're calling me, yes. They're beautiful, they're glowing, and they're very tall and glowing, loving. Barbara, and about how many are you seeing? Chris, there are 3 of them. Barbara, does it seem like you've ever seen these beings before? Chris, yes, I've seen them, I know them. They're the guardians, the angels. They're the same ones that came when I was sick, crying. Barbara, and did they help when you were sick? Chris, yes, they came when I was sick. When I was crying out, they came. They took me into the light and they're back. It's the same beautiful, loving, they're angels. Angels, they're standing above me and calling me. Beautiful and loving, their presence is so amazing and I keep their presence with me. I feel that connection. I've never forgotten that. That's how I know they're here. Barbara, so they welcomed you into the light and you're there with them now. Chris, yes, I'm in a bubble. This bubble, glowing bubble, that they're there with me. Barbara, is anyone else there with you as well? Chris, I only feel these 3 beings and they're telling me to come with them. I have to go with them. They have somewhere special to take me. Barbara, now before you go with them, can you describe what these 3 beings look like? Chris, yes, they're very lovely and tall, very tall. Much taller than I am, 7 foot maybe. And they're glowing, beautiful and radiant. They are pale in color, bluish white. They are emitting light from their being. It's light, It's like they are made of light. I can see their face barely, but they're glowing, so you have to be close to see detail. But I see their eyes are glowing beautiful blue, and I hear the singing. This wonderful, wonderful singing, crying. A choir, a lovely choir, singing and praising love. It's vibrating from my soul. They come for me, for the mother. She wants to see me. Mother sent them for me. They're telling them the mother wants to see me. Now, did your mother die from this physical life? Chris, no, the mother, the love. I hear many voices singing praises of love and joy, and they're taking me to her. Barbara, are you doing that in a kind of floating way? Chris, we are in a bubble. Barbara, is the bubble moving? Chris, yes, it's moving very fast. I can see through the bubble. I see the earth as it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. As I look back, and they are there with me, I can see far away, far out at the stars and the heavens clearly. It's beautiful. It's all beautiful in love. We're traveling far away to where I don't know. But I feel that I'm bathed in a huge ball of light. It's just a loving, wonderful vibration, and my whole body is vibrating. I feel it now, and we're beginning to approach this place. I don't know where we've gone to. It seems like Egypt. It's like desert. There are these canyons, high canyons. I can see the walls that are vertical to my right and to my left. And as we gently float to the surface, I'm with them. And the sand is so warm and beautiful and dry, it looks like desert with canyon walls on either side. I can see far away, far up ahead, this light way down the canyon. It's just beautiful lights. Barbara, and does it seem to be nighttime or daytime? It's nighttime, and the light is illuminating our path, and we're being pulled to that light, and I'm walking ahead, and I can feel then their presence around me, and I can hear them. Barbara, are you actually walking with your feet on the ground? Chris, yes, this beautiful golden sand beneath my feet. It's warm and comfortable, and this light is way ahead, a long way ahead. The beings are around me, and they're taking me towards the light, and I feel the light around me. I feel the light ahead. It's drawing me, pulling me closer, and I can hear them. I can hear them plainly. I hear them talking amongst each other. Barbara, are there other beings also in that light? Chris, just the three that are with me that brought me to this beautiful place. They're bringing me to this light in this canyon that is way ahead, and we're making our way towards this light, and I hear them speaking to one another, but I don't hear what they're saying. I just hear this beautiful language, gorgeous, beautiful, crying here. It's permeating my being, but I don't understand it. It's a heavenly-like language, and we're headed towards this light that is illuminating the floor of the canyon and the walls as we get closer, and it makes a turn to my left, and the light I can see is coming around that turn. It's so bright, it's eliminating our paths, and we're not seeing the light yet because it's around the bend, and we're being drawn closer. They're taking me with them or walking with me, bringing me to this beautiful light, this beautiful bluish white light. Barbara, and is there any change of temperature as you get closer to that light? Chris, it's just beautiful, warm, and lovely. My feet, I can feel this beautiful golden warm sand. It's so comfy beneath my feet. And the light's drawing me in, and I'm so curious. I'm not afraid. I only feel this love, this beautiful feeling of love. These beings are still talking. I can hear them singing this wonderful singing in a language I don't understand, but it's almost a choir. Barbara, their talking is almost a choir? Chris, yes, it's the way they talk. It sounds like it's a choir singing, but I don't understand it, crying. I can feel this new presence that I felt before. And we're beginning to go around this curve, and I can see this light, and it's way up ahead coming from the end of the canyon. And as we turn this curve, it's a dead end and high up on the canyon walls where the lights are coming from. Beautiful shimmering light, sparkles and radiance that's causing me to tremble. And as I get closer, I can see this. It's her again. Barbara, and what do you see of her? What does she look like? Chris, it's the mother, it's the lady. She's calling me back. She's beautiful. I can't describe the beauty of this loving, most loving mother. She's high up on this niche, standing in front of a huge stone chair that's carved within the canyon walls. And she's standing in front of it, in front of this huge chair. It's much bigger than her. It's huge. It's very powerful. She's glowing, very beautiful. Barbara, What about her size? Chris, she's not very big. Barbara, is she human? Chris, she's human. She's floating. Her feet are not on the floor. She's hovering. She's above me. She's up in the niche, carved into the rock wall. And she's looking down at me, and I look back to see these beautiful glowing beings, and they bow down to her. And they're leaving me. They brought me to her. Barbara, and what did these beings look like? Do they look like the ones who were escorting you? Chris, they are the same ones, the guardians, the angels, the seraphim. They're loving, glowing, beautiful beyond words. The words can't describe. And they're leaving me with her for now. They leave me with her. I can't describe the beauty, the joy, the vibration in my soul. And she's so beautiful and loving. Makes me want to tear up and cry. Crying. She's so loving. Crying. Barbara, let yourself really feel that too. Chris, crying a lot here over and over again, crying. Barbara, feel it and really receive it, Chris. Chris is crying here. Oh God, oh Lord, words can't describe, oh my God. I can't describe the love and the sadness she has for us all. She weeps with me. She's so beautiful. I just love her. She's beautiful, amazing. Her gown she's wearing, it's sparkly, glowing, beautiful white flowing gown. It looks like all the stars in the sky in this beautiful silky gown, dressed from her neck to her feet, and I see tears. I see tears in her eyes. She's talking to me. She's talking to me, Barbara. And Chris, what about her face? What can you see about her face? Chris, she's the most beautiful. She's love. She looks totally human. She's very young looking, 30s maybe. She doesn't look very old, youthful and beautiful and glowing this beautiful light. But she looks very sad. The most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And her love, she radiates. My body is vibrating from the energy she's emitting. This light is going through my body and causing me to tremble. I'm not afraid. It's her presence. Oh God, she's talking to me. Barbara, be really aware of what she's saying. Chris, oh Lord, she's telling me that she brought me back to put secrets there. Secrets that I would not know until the time is ready. She's telling me things that I have to stay my course, that I can never waver, crying. That my life may be short, crying, but the reward will be great, crying. Barbara, did she say your life will be short? Chris, yes, it could be short, but the reward will be great and that she will always be here for me. But I have to stay the course, but she's always with me and she'll always be there. Her and her angels will never let me out of their sight ever. And that they're guiding me and I have to trust what I know. I have to trust, and she's telling me that she'll place people within my path that were meant to be, that she's guiding them as well, and that we will come together at the right time, crying, and that all will be revealed in my lifetime, or at least my family's lifetime. Barbara, do you know what it means when she says to stay the course? Chris, I know what she means. She told me before. I doubted these beings that healed me, that she sent them for me because of suffering and because of the plan that was created. Cries here. Ahead of time, and that they'd always been with me from the beginning and before, and that this time that we're living in is the time that was written about in the book of Revelations in the Bible and in the ancient texts. The age is about to change. It's the end of time. It's the age of Pisces and the beginning of the new age and a shift in the powers. Every new age will bring in peace and the love of the mother and the divine feminine. And crying here and trembling. There are people that don't want this out and will push back. But I have to stay the course. Never, never waver from what I know. And she will guide me and she will place the right people to help and to protect because a new beginning is coming. It's so beautiful. Barbara. So this is very important for you, Chris, to get this contact with her and get this reassurance. This is encouragement, Chris. Cries here very much. Chris, yes, I've been so afraid. These people. I've had a lot of people try to convince me what I've experienced is something different, and I've been threatened. And she told me back then that I would be, but to stay the course and not waver. Never, because the truth will come. The truth will come, but much trouble will come ahead. There's a lot of darkness that doesn't want the truth. The divine feminine will bring about peace and love in this new world, in this new age that's coming. It's coming and there's nothing to stop it. It's coming. Barbara, and are you part of this change when she says you must stay the course? Are you part of what will bring about the change? Chris: yes, this message that my experience is from love. It's not from fear. But love has its own and fear has its own, and that we should love one another because things are getting out of hand and the world is in chaos. And fear is setting in, and fear will overcome us all, and the darkness will win. But eventually the light will prevail. And if I don't spread this truth, if I don't stay the course, somebody else will have to, or it may be too late. Barbara: and now you have this wonderful, important reassurance that as scary as it is with these other people who don't want this, but they will be there, they will help you, they will sustain you. Chris: they are helping me, they are. She's telling me to remember, to never forget what it is that I know. Never change, never let anyone persuade me otherwise. Barbara: it's very important, isn't it? Chris: yes, I've had so much fear that's come upon my family. Cries: people that threatened us, my children, my wife. Yes, they don't want this out. They don't want it out, this group. They want the darkness, and the mother wants us all to love one another, because if we don't, it might be too late. Too many lives might be lost that we can make a huge difference, and we have to. We have to tell the truth. We have to stick to what our principles are with love. It's all about love and not fear. Fear is the enemy. Fear is awful. It's so beautiful. Barbara: can you get a sense now for who this mother, the lady, is? Chris: yes, she's the mother of all. She's the comforter, the Holy Spirit. Cries: she's the third part of the Trinity. She's the mother. She loves us all. She loves everything, our earth, our seas, and every living creature, and she weeps at us and our destruction. But we have free will, and we have free will to choose the love or the fear. And she loves us all. She loves us. She's the most beautiful mother, the comforter. It's wonderful. She's always been here. She's been here from creation, from the beginning of all time, the universal creation of all that lives. The manifestation of the comforter, the one who truly loves us. She's here to help. She's here to help us, to guide us. Barbara: and she will always be with you, even if you don't see her, every time, and she'll be protecting you and guiding you. Chris: yes, she has been. She told me she would. She told me during Easter when she came, and she brought me back to give me these things, these words that would unfold as the time comes. She's the guide. She's guiding us all. She loves us all, everyone and every living thing. Natural. It's so beautiful. Barbara: and Chris, can you see or tell now why she has particularly chosen you to be doing this very important work? Chris: she didn't tell me why. She just told me it was a plan from the beginning, before my beginning, and that they'd always been with me. She's always been there watching, guiding, protecting for this time. This time is now, and it centers around the new beginning, the new age. She's telling me that people of this planet are making this biblical scripture take place, and that they've given us the scripture through people, and that we are being guided. These people in power making this happen, some in a good way and some in not such a good way. And those who are in not such a good way to bring around the darkness, the dark force. And she is in fear of our suffering, of it being so great that she's coming out to warn us. Cries: it's here, it's now. Barbara: does it seem like the dark forces are particularly active now? Chris: yes, now more than ever, plotting and scheming to take away our love. And when we lose that, and we are living in fear, it's over. It will not be good. It will not be good. And it's coming quickly. The earth is out of balance. Our vibration is totally linked to her and to this earth and into love or fear. And as we are in fear, our vibration drops to a lower level, which throws every living thing, every tree, every plant, every creature, including this earth. Its vibration is off, and it's beginning to shake and tremble and destruct. We have to change that. We have to change this fear. We have to change it. We have to bring love into this earth, into this world, in our hearts and our minds to bring about peace. Never look at the fear. Never talk of negativity. Never bring it into our lives. Remove it from us completely to stop this negative vibration from going on. If we don't, it's going to be a major loss because the earth is encoded, she says. The earth is encoded. It's part of its makeup to rid itself of negativity and darkness. and that it's a process that has started that only we can stop by love. And with love, we can awaken into a new love and a new world of peace which was foretold. It's so beautiful. Barbara. So it's very important for you to do this work and to inspire others to do the work. Chris, crying very much here. Yes, she's bringing us together for this time. She's bringing us together. This is the plan. This is part of her plan, and I have to stay the course. I can never waver and not look at the fear. Never give in to the fear and never change for what it is I know. To stay my course, and she will be there, her and her angels. When there are dark forces lurking about, physical and non-physical, that would be attacking me in this family, put the trust in her and the lights. This light that appears is there. It's a higher vibration, and I can never change. I know, I feel it. I feel that euphoria that I feel when I'm in her presence. Barbara. And you can go on feeling that from this point on. Chris. Yes, it's so beautiful it makes me cry. So sweet. This is not from sadness, it's from joy, her joy. But I am afraid for the people, and from what they showed me. Cries. The images of what could come is not good. We can change it. We have to. We have to be in love, and we can't be in fear. Never in the fear. Barbara. So do you know from her the way that you are to help? Chris. I'm helping. She's guiding the natural way. It's what they do. They guide us. They care for us and every living thing they created. They tend to it and nurture it. And these dark forces are so scary. And I have seen them, the physical and the non-physical. Barbara. So your connection with her, the mother, is going to be continuing. It has always been continuing and will continue as well. You probably have more meetings with her, do you think? Chris. Yes, she's always there when I feel that feeling. It's her. Everything's a part of her that we can all feel, that if we open our heart. We have to shed all pride and greed and find that joy and humble ourselves. And we will find that we can find that higher place. It's so magical. We can walk with them. We can be like them. They want us to awaken, and we have to now before it's too late, before too many are lost. Barbara. So the project that you're doing with Lori, is that very much part of what you're supposed to be doing? Chris. Absolutely. It was the mother. She created this whole thing, and she's protecting everyone involved. She's with us all, and she's with you. She's brought us all together for this information that has to be given, and very many will accept it. A lot won't, but we have to try. We have to try and spread this love and this message, that these lights, that there is other life, not just here, but everywhere. Everything is a living being with consciousness. The trees, even the grass that we walk on, has a consciousness that is pre-programmed to this world, to this earth, just as we are. We are all a part of her in her beautiful love for us, but she weeps with sadness at what may happen if we don't find that place. I keep seeing these images I was shown. I can never forget. And that's all not to scare me, but it's part of this message of love. Barbara. And while you're with her right now, can you find out what that object was that you were given to hold? That object that seemed to be living and turned prickly? Chris. Yes, it was symbolic. It was symbolic of our world, the natural world. It was the keys, the symbol of the natural world, that we are all part of nature and everything is part of nature, the forces of nature. It was nothing other than a symbol. Barbara. And it made an impression on you, didn't it? Chris. Yes, it did. I've never known, but I knew it was living, but it had no legs or no head or no tail. It was living. And she's telling me that we are basically the same way. We have no direction. We don't know which way we are going or coming. Barbara. Just like that unusual life form. Chris. Yes, it didn't know where to go, but it was alive, and that we are pretty much the same way. We are blinded in fear. It's what's blinding us, keeping us from awakening. And it's destroying this planet. This earth is alive and it's becoming out of balance because we are doing it. The humans are doing it through fear and negativity. We have to change that. War and rumors of war has people in fear, and the fear is growing, and the earth is becoming more and more out of balance, which is not good. I hate the fear. Oh Lord. Barbara. And can you know from her about the other beings? Who they really are? Where they are from? Chris. There are many beings, many kinds. There are those that have a very bad agenda for humanity, that preys on us, almost parasitic, and attaches itself through fear. And they come in all sorts of ways. They come from above, and there are those that live among us that we hardly recognize. There are those in the sea. These beautiful beings live in the sea, and they protect us. They're not bad, benevolent. They watch over us, but the sea is just like the sky. It's like deep space. It doesn't matter. They just stay out of sight, but they watch out over us, and they tend to every living thing that walks or crawls or swims. And there are others from other worlds, other dimensions. Spirits of our loved ones exist among us. We just have to find love, but I don't know who they are. I don't know. I've seen some. I felt the fear from some. Barbara, some of these other beings? Chris, yes, because they don't want this message. They don't want the love. They don't want her message out there. But the lights, these beautiful orange, the burning ones, they are the ones with the triangle. The good ones, the ones that helped create us universally. And every living thing. We have to evolve. We have to awaken. They tend to us like we are in a terrarium, like a farm. And she loves us. They love us, but there are those that come that don't, and that's why the guardians will keep those at bay. But we have free will, and that's our choice. There are other things that I can't remember that she told me would come in time, at the right time. Barbara, but in the meantime, you were to be bringing the good in, the lights to counteract the dark. Is that right? Chris, yes, that's the course I have to stay. And if we don't spread the light, the darkness will overcome. She's the mother. Barbara, so does that give you inspiration now to carry on and stay the course? Chris, absolutely. Yes, it does, and nothing can waver that. I'm willing to go, to give what it takes to do and what I have to do. Barbara, and not buy into the fear and darkness. Chris, never buy into the fear. Barbara, and that's quite a challenge when you and your family get threatened. Chris, yes. Barbara, but if you keep remembering about this wonderful mother and the other beings who pledge to be with you always, that will help in dealing with the fear? Chris, yes, she's always there, and I know they are because they come when I cry out in fear for my family or for myself. They are always there. They're always near. They hear everything we say, everything, and they direct our lives. If we allow them to, we have to allow them to, and if we don't, we're on our own. And that was what she asked of me. She didn't make me. She asked me, would I do this? That this is my burden I must bear. I'll never change. There's been so many to try and convince me from every angle, from my family to churches to friends, but I will never change. Barbara, they tried to convince you not to talk about these things? Chris, and to not believe that it's good. Dark forces come and try to tell me I'm wrong and it's bad, it's demonic, it's evil, it's negative, and threaten me at times if I don't change. But I will never change because I cannot not tell the truth, because I've made an agreement that I must stick to. It's the watchman. She gave me the scripture of the watchman. I can see beautiful images. Barbara, do you feel like you are still there in the canyon with the lady now? Chris, I feel more that she's inside of me. Yes. Barbara, she's always with you? Chris, yes, she's always with us all. She is with anyone that will allow her. All we have to do is seek. Barbara, and is there anything else that you need to see about this experience? Chris, no ma'am. Barbara, let's just go now to the very finishing of this experience where you find yourself back at home again. Chris, I'm awakening at home. Barbara, where are you when you are waking up? Chris, back where I was, in bed. Barbara, is your wife there? Chris, no, she's not there. She's in the house, but she's not there. Barbara, so are you waking up the normal way you always wake up? Chris, I'm waking up with tears from what just happened. The most amazing experience. Oh God, words can't describe. Barbara, just notice too while you were waking up. Are you in your normal sleeping clothes that you went to bed in? Chris, no, I am fully dressed and I don't know how. I don't know how I'm dressed, but I am barefooted with clothes on. That is so strange. Barbara, just go back a little bit, just for general interest. Go back to how it was that you happened to be fully dressed, just how that occurred. Chris takes a deep breath. Barbara, obviously you were returned. Just see how it is that it happened, but you were fully dressed. Chris, when the door opens, I hear their voices and they come in directing me to get dressed. Barbara, So they came into your room? Chris, yes, they directed me to get dressed. Barbara, and do you know why? Chris, I don't know why. I'm just getting dressed. Barbara, you can ask them if you'd like. Chris, because they are taking me. They want me to get dressed to go with them into the ceiling. Barbara, oh, so the getting dressed happened before you were floated up through the ceiling, through the attic and the roof and up into the bubble? Chris, yes, they came into the room and I crawled back into bed, and that's when it pulls me up into the light. Barbara, so you were fully dressed at that point in bed? Chris, yes, they did it. They directed it. Barbara, I see. So maybe it's very appropriate that your wife wasn't right there, because that would be an unusual thing for you to do, to get fully dressed and then go back into the bed. Chris, yes. And they knew she wasn't there. They are all-knowing guardians. Barbara, is there anything else, Chris, that you have been wondering about this whole experience, about the beautiful mother or the other beings? Chris, at this moment, I can't say. I feel as if I'm on fire. Barbara, wow. Chris, yes, it's so hot. Barbara, and is that a disturbing kind of hot, or how would you describe that? Chris, it comes from returning to my room. That's why I'm hot. Barbara, is the room hot? Chris, yes, because I am dressed and the room is very hot. Barbara, that's just a natural thing from where you live? Chris, yes. Barbara, so normally when you wake up, you'd be hot because the temperature there is hot, but you wouldn't be as hot as you are being fully dressed. Chris, yes. Yes. Barbara, so now that answers your question as to why you were fully dressed. Chris, yes. Barbara, and the one you have been thinking of as the lady, that is now the same one you were thinking as the mother, all the same wonderful, glorious being. Chris, yes, for all of eternity. She cares for us and all of humanity and every living thing. But Earth is first, and Earth has a code. That code is triggered by fear from humanity. It has in it an imprinted code in controlling population, and all of humanity. It was built into the foundation of this world, the nature to keep itself in balance. And as humanity grows, the fear becomes more strong, which affects the residents of this planet. And there are plans from the Dark Force to overcome us all. It's what it wants to do, but we must overcome the fear and not give in to it. Barbara, so are you to help many other people to not give in to it and recognize it and not go into fear? Chris, yes, and to understand that we are seeing is not evil, and that it's part of love and creation. The angels and the principalities, agents of their creator or creation, they work for creation. Barbara, so have you found that the church, even the Catholic Church, is open and responsive to this kind of teaching? Chris, I think that they will be. They will be. They will want to be. And that they will accept. A good many will accept the truth. It's been hidden away. This is in biblical terms. She said the apocalypse, to reveal that which is hidden. To tell the truth, because we have a choice. To live in fear and die by fear, or live in love and find happiness and peace. We have that choice, and all of humanity at this point deserves the truth. It has to be told. It has to be told. That's been mandated to be told. We have free will, so we have to. Barbara, we have free will and we can choose. Then perhaps more and more people need to be educated about the fact that we do have this choice. Chris, yes. Barbara, between the fear and the evil and the good and the light. Chris, yes, yes. Barbara, and you are very much a part of that. Chris, not that I wanted to be. Barbara, you've been very chosen for this and very assisted and accompanied in doing this. And the pledge to use that this accompaniment and this protection, this love will continue to be with you. Chris, yes, it has to. Barbara, so it's very important, isn't it, that you have revisited this today and know it more fully than you have known it before. Chris, it's so joyful, their presence. Barbara, and hopefully you can go forward from this point with your mission and with more of a sense that you are always guided and protected. Chris, yes, I know that without a doubt. I know that, and that's why they come when I call. When I'm afraid and I call, they come to reassure, and they come when others need help out of love if we ask them to. Protectors. Barbara, so the others, they really need to call to them, don't they? Chris, yes, everyone does. Barbara, so do you have the sense that there are many wonderful beings too, just willing to help and waiting to be called to? Chris, Yes, many throughout this universe, throughout this creation, they created us out of love and kindness, and the dark force tries to destroy that which is created in fear and in hate, and that has to go. And this is what has to be told to make this world understand that this new knowledge can bring about peace, because too many people are dying and suffering over religions, thoughts, and teachings, and this is why it has to be told. The truth has to come out, the revealing, the truth, that we are not alone and meaningless, and that we come from nothing. That is so much a lie and not true. We are very special, and that we were created in free will to find that for our soul to journey on to a new place. We can't live in fear. We have to shed that away. Barbara. And so much of the world culture seems to be encouraging fear of all kinds of things all the time. Chris, yes, and the dark forces know that, and they actually engineer, and it breeds upon itself if you let it fester and becomes more negative. But we have to tell the truth. We have to change everything to find that new place, that new beginning. And it's time. It's now. It's now. Barbara. So do you feel in you a little more energy for getting on with it and dealing with it? Chris. Yes, ma'am, I do. Barbara. Great. Chris. I feel guidance now and understanding of things better, but there's still much unseen that's there. This is about a disaster coming that I was shown that doesn't have to happen, and if we don't change, we are going down the wrong path. Humanity will never awaken. It will be stolen from us through fear and darkness. The truth will bring love and peace upon this world, and it will be through the mother and the love from the feminine. The mother energy that brings about the light and nourishment and love to this world, because the man energy is so rough and warlike, but it has to be moved to the side and the women will rise up. She told me this. The women will rise up, and they are, and we've only seen the start. They will become empowered and lose that fear they carried forever. Barbara. And as this happens, they can help to balance out the energies that have been going in the wrong direction. Chris. Yes. The mother is love. That's what we need. Barbara. Well, is there anything else that you need to think about or see or know at this point right now? Chris. Not at this point. I'm in a place of processing. I keep seeing images flashing, beautiful living colors flashing in and out of things that are coming. Processing. It's amazing. I'm so grateful. Barbara. And those beings are grateful for you and what you were doing. Chris. They healed me. They came at my lowest point. They came. They set me up on solid ground, and they came because I was crying out for help. Barbara. And they will continue to do that too, Chris. Continue to be with you and come, even if you come into another really low point, and you can call out to them and they will come. They've committed to that. They made that promise to you. Chris. Yes, they did, and the mother too. Barbara. And they apparently work really well together, the beings and the mother. Chris. Yes, there are many beings, many, but they work for her. She's the mother of all, the comforter. She's here to warn us because I wouldn't listen, and I was so attacked she had to come herself, knowing that when she came I would not doubt any longer. Barbara. Well, you will be continuing the process as you go forward, this day and all the days ahead. And I encourage you to remember as you need to the incredible love, lights that is there for you, and the support and the guidance and the imperative nature of doing something to change the way that is lived on earth. Chris. Yes, it's all about nature. It's alive, and we live within it, and there's a lot of nature we can't see, forces that are here but unseen. Barbara. But you know from your own experience that this is real and true and lasting. Chris. Yes. So if you are ready now to come back to this time and this place and this situation, just know you will carry this with you now that it's become more into your awareness. It's much more full, much more something you can trust as you carry on with what you were here to do. So anytime you wish, you can just close your eyes and feel again by remembering it. Feel again that incredible light and love and caring that you experienced. It's there for you always to experience. So at any moment you can choose that. You can choose to experience that again. This will be a very big help in continuing on with the work that you are to do. You can always ask for more protection for yourself and your family and those you really care about. Even though they have said that the mother has said she and they are protecting you anyway. But if you feel like asking for it, that's fine. They will hear it. They will receive it and give you the love and protection for you and those you care about and those you might worry about. They are just there waiting, listening, and ready for you and all of us to ask for help. So I'm going to bring your attention now to this time and this place. I'm going to be counting from number 1 to number 5, and when we get to number 5, you'll be feeling more light, alert, refreshed, awake, and able to sit up, get your bearings, and become more clear, more adjusted to the here now, and ready to go on with the rest of your day. 1.
What up, homies?
If you like the show and want more, check out patreon.com/Bledsoe said so.
This will get you exclusive weekly bonus shows and access to our Discord community with hundreds of open-minded people just like you.
If you want to represent the show, go to bledsoesaidso.com for merch. We have t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and more.
For all future updates, follow us on Instagram at Bledsoe Said So.
Same time next week.